I have a question from Janice. She asked, this is at janicedru. She asked, how do you balance your time between building courses, coaching, and running your podcast? When and how did you grow your team to help support you do all of it? Janice, I love this question. I think what's really key here is to not judge your journey by anyone else's, because it's really interesting. I was writing a speech over the past couple weeks for a conference that I'm speaking at in September. And one of the things I wrote in my talk that I feel like is an important message for all of you to hear today is that oftentimes we give everyone else, when we're looking at everyone else's businesses and journeys, we give them the benefit of hindsight, right? We give them the benefit of all of the months and years that they have accumulated in effort and time and experience to achieve something. Whereas with our own businesses, we are super critical and we only judge ourselves and our businesses through the present moment. We look at ourselves under a microscope and we're so critical and thinking, we're behind, why are we not there? How is everyone else doing all of these things and I'm not? So not to say that's what you are thinking, Janice, but I just thought your question brought up a really great point that I wanted to address that. And the key here is when I started my business, I wasn't offering all of these things. I was really, really focused for 2 years on growing my service-based business and working with clients one-on-one and really refining my work with clients and fine-tuning my skills and learning how to sell and learning how to build profitable and effective marketing strategies. Only after I refined my client work was I able to find patterns that actually allowed me to go, oh, okay, all of my clients who have had successful growth through their business on social media, they had, this, that, and the other in common. And I was able to take all of those common things and actually use that to build a framework for my courses. Had I not put in the work and the time to actually really understand my clients and work with them, I don't think I would have been able to build repeatable, successful frameworks that I could then teach other people. So courses were a natural progression from services because once I had those frameworks in place, I was able to teach them to other people and help them repeat and get those same results. And I started small on the course side too, Janice. Honestly, my very first program, I launched with a beta group of 12 people. I followed the Pay to Create method, which I know you were in the Pay to Create challenge and you were so amazing in that challenge. So I know you know that method well, but for those of you who don't know that method, basically Pay to Create is this method that we teach first-time course creators on how to actually sell or pre-sell, I should say, their first digital product to their audience and enroll their first founding students before they ever create a single piece of content. So this is really key because you want to actually validate your idea for your course in the marketplace before you spend a bunch of time and money building out this entire digital product and then going to sell it and realizing, wait a second, nobody actually wants this course. So we want to make sure that you avoid that at all costs and you can actually bootstrap your first course using the Pay to Create method. So if that's of interest to you, we're actually running another Pay to Create challenge in September. It kicks off, I believe, September 20th. I want to say that's the date. But if you want details, if you want to, confirm the dates and sign up for our next challenge, you can go to ellenyin.com/paid to create. We'll also drop that link in the comments, or you can go to the link in my bio and the sign up link is there as well. So these days, because I have a team, Janice, I am able to balance my time and be able to offer courses, coaching, and running my podcast. And as far as when and how I grew my team, just like everything else, it came in increments and I started small. My very first hire ever was essentially a virtual assistant that I hired for one single project. It was one client project. We worked really well together. So I gave her a little bit more responsibility and a little bit more responsibility, and that grew and grew and grew, and eventually she became my first full-time employee. And since then, her role has shifted many times, but essentially when I'm hiring, I'm always looking at hiring from the bottom up, not the top down. Meaning I'm looking at what are the fulfillment and delivery tasks in my business that need to be done well in order to serve our students, in order to serve our clients. And if I can get a really awesome team member to own that role and own those tasks, it actually frees up my time now to do more strategic thinking, to plan for the future, to continue moving this company forward. And so I'm extremely lucky to have some amazing team members. Huge shout out to Sabrina, who is our podcast and content manager. Pretty much everything you see on Cubicle to CEO's Instagram page, or every week when you're tuning into the podcast, that is so much the work of her hands. And Andy, who is our incredible member success coordinator, she is working with you guys all the time and supporting you inside the inbox and really being your cheerleader, your advocate, and making sure that you are successful. And then Dossie is my incredible executive assistant and marketing assistant, and she helps out so much with our partnerships and collaborations. And we also have, a team of success coaches and some other contractors that we work with. Shout out to Jenny and Danielle. But again, this all came over time. This was not an overnight thing. And I think my best advice for you, or anyone who's looking to hire, is to really think about, where is your zone of genius? Where is your zone of competence? And where is your zone of incompetence, right? Things that you're not good at, things that you don't enjoy doing. How can you offload those tasks to free up your time in order to grow the business doing what you do best? So, Janice, I hope that helps.